Yes, good evening everyone. I am Christopher Cordova. This evening I would like to talk about the 360-degree evaluation. In 360-degree evaluation, it analyzes individuals' performance from all sides, from the supervisor's viewpoint, from their subordinates' viewpoint, from their clients or customers, from peers, and from their own self-evaluation. In 360 evaluation, it helps in giving an overall picture of an employee performance by collecting feedback from multiple stakeholders. It is a questionnaire-based process that gathers structured feedback from a number of sources about the behavior and style of an individual or team at work. The results are compiled into a feedback report in which data from each source is presented separately. This is provided to the individual who then plans how to build on competencies and improve personal performance. Research has shown that the reliability and fairness and acceptability of the feedback process are increased when the input is drawn from multiple sources. Let's go first by the evaluation of superiors. The evaluation by superiors are most traditional source of employee feedback. This is a form of evaluation which includes both the ratings of individuals by supervisors on elements in an employee's performance plan and the evaluation of programs and teams by senior managers. The supervisor usually rate their employees. So what quotients should be addressed? Superiors should be able to observe and measure all facets of the work to make a fair evaluation. In some work situation, the supervisor or rating official is not in the same location or is supervising a very large numbers of employees and does not have detailed knowledge of each employee's performance. Next is the self-assessment. This form of performance information is actually quite common but usually used only as an informal part of the supervisor-employee appraisal feedback session. Supervisors frequently open the discussion with, "How do you feel you have performed?" in a somewhat more formal approach. Or, the supervisor and the individual employee will discuss a target settings and how to meet or go beyond its target. What quotients should be addressed here? Research shows that correlations between self-rating and all other sources of ratings, particularly supervisory ratings, the self-ratings tend to be consistently higher. This discrepancy can lead to defensiveness and alienation if supervisors do not use good feedback skills. Now let's move to peers. Peers are often the most relevant evaluators of their colleagues' performance. Peers have a unique perspective on a co-worker's job performance, and employees are generally very receptive to the concept of rating each other. Peers ratings can be used when the employee's expertise is known or the performance and results can be observed. There are both significant contribution and serious pitfalls that must be carefully considered before including this type of evaluation. So what quotients should be addressed? Peer evaluation are almost always appropriate for developmental purposes. There is a difference of opinion about the need for anonymity of the peer evaluators. Generally, it is advised that the identities of the raters be kept confidential to assure honest, continuing feedback role. It is essential that the peer evaluators be very familiar with the team members' tasks and responsibility. Peer ratings have the potential of creating tensions and breakdown rather than fostering cooperation and support. Now let's move to subordinates. An upward appraisal process or feedback survey, sometimes referred to as SAM or SAM for subordinates appraising managers, is among the most significant and yet controversial feature of a full circle performance evaluation program. Subordinates have a unique essential perspective. The subordinate ratings provide particularly valuable data on performance elements concerning managerial and supervisory behaviors. However, there is usually great reluctance, even fear, concerning implementation of this rating dimension. The need for anonymity is essential when using subordinate ratings as a source of performance evaluation data. Subordinates simply will not participate, or they will give gratuitous, dishonest feedback if they fear reprisal from their supervisors. Supervisors may feel threatened and perceive that their authority has been undermined when they must take into consideration that their subordinates will be formally evaluating them. However, research suggests that supervisors who are more responsive to their subordinates based on the feedback they receive are more effective managers. Subordinates currently involved in a disciplinary action or a formal performance improvement period should be excluded from the rating group. Otherwise, it will only add fuel to the fire of an already tense situation with distrust and paranoia. Next is we have the customer's rating. Internal customers are defined as users of products or services supplied by another employee or group within the agency or organization. External customers are outside the organization but are not limited to general public. So what question should be addressed? The value of customer service feedback is most appropriate for evaluating a team or organizational output and outcomes. This feedback can be used as part of the appraisal for each member of the team. Customers, by definitions, are better at evaluating outputs like products or services as opposed to processes and working relationship. So they are different. Most customers, they don't know what is the employee's performance inside, but they are more appropriate when it comes to evaluating products and outputs. Generally, the customers do not have knowledge by regulations, policies, and resources. So customer feedback are more effective and common to employees involved in frontline services only. So that ends with the 360-degree evaluation. It is widely recognized that there are many things inherently wrong with most of the performance appraisal systems that are in use. But if you are not vigilant, performance management processes can often become inefficient and counterproductive. Hopefully, by recognizing and avoiding these common problems in performance appraisal, we will make the performance appraisal objective rather than subjective. And we will make appraisal less stressful for everyone. Thank you very much for listening and good evening once again. Peace, brother.